Welcome everybody to the May announcements for Athearn for 2023. Hard to believe that we're here already. We're kind of transitioning from spring, slowly inching our way to summer, and we've got some great items to show you this month from Athearn. Now, everything I'm going to show you today, you can get in greater detail in upcoming Train Tuesdays. You can catch me on Train Tuesdays, ironically enough, on Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And also, you have until Friday, May 26th to place your pre-orders on all the items I'm about to show you coming right up. We're going to start with the GP9s. It's the Athearn Genesis GP9s. Now, while we have offered Union Pacific before, we have not offered these particular ones. These have got all new tooling. They're going to have the branch line plows. Now, briefly, the branch line plows were adapted from steam locomotives, placed on the front pilot of these locomotives. And so the new tooling on these models will include that plow as well as the new updated cut lever to go with those plows. We're offering the GP9 and Union Pacific in 3 different road numbers in this run. Coming up next are the grip rebuild Southern Pacific units, 2 from the 1970s, 1 from the 1980s. You can see that we've got the 270s with the high hoods and the 1970s grip rebuild from the 1980s with the low nose. Coming up next, Chicago Northwestern. This is a mid-1960s paint scheme, but this actually lasted on these locomotives right until the very end. So if you're modeling the 60s, 70s, 80s, even the early 90s, you're going to want to take a look at these locomotives with some weathering. They can fit your era just perfectly. 3 different road numbers within this run. For you East Coast modelers, we've got New York Central in 2 different paint schemes and 3 different road numbers. These are set up from the factory to run the long hood forward per the prototype. Now, while I'm thinking of it, these models are available in DCC ready as well as with Tsunami 2 equipped. 2 road numbers for the Penn Central. So Penn Central fans, you've got a good month coming up. We have the GP9s as well as another release that we'll talk about here shortly. These 2, since they are formerly New York Central, are set up from the factory to run long hood forward per the prototype. One that caught a lot of you by surprise, except for the guys that actually sent in those requests through our product suggestion email, Central of Georgia. We're offering 3 different road numbers with this locomotive. From 2 separate orders based on what Central of Georgia ordered from EMD. So once again, the GP9s, they are Athearn Genesis quality. We're going to be talking about those. Actually, there is a Train Tuesday already in the YouTube library. Go check it out. We talk about these locomotives in detail, and we also answered some questions during the live feed. We're going to switch gears from Genesis, and we're now going to talk about Athearn. Time to offer the SD40s again. And the first ones that we're offering up are these SD40 rebuilds. These are BNSF, so perfect for you guys that are modeling early BNSF. We're offering 3 different road numbers. And these are also available as DCC ready, as well as with the Soundtrack's Economy decoders included. Kodachrome fans, you will be happy to see that we're offering 3 different road numbers of the Southern Pacific versions. Again, DCC ready or Economy, the choice is yours. Early Conrail fans will want to take note. We've got 3 different road numbers of the SD40, former Penn Central, now Conrail. These are prime for grime and perfect for you guys that are modeling the early days of Conrail. It's been a little bit since we've offered the Chesapeake and Ohio. We wanted to bring these out again in their mid-1960s era paint scheme. We're offering these in 3 different road numbers per the prototype. And here we have Penn Central. We wanted to offer Penn Central. So like I said, you guys that are looking at the GP9s, you're going to want to check these out as well. 3 different road numbers of the Penn Central back when they're more in their prime than they were as the Conrail versions. And last but not least, the Fort Worth Railroad. This is one that we got a lot of requests to do, and so we are offering these two numbers up. And you have until, like I said, Friday, May 26th to make your pre-orders. And again, we're going to talk about these specifically, these SD40s coming up in a future Train Tuesday. We're going to stay on locomotives. And these are also by Athearn. These are the GP38-2s. Now, these are pretty exciting because this time, not only are they going to have factory installed speakers, not only are they going to have a 21-pin NEM pin for decoder, but for the first time ever, they're going to have lighting features. Now, depending on the prototype that you choose, you're going to have the ability to have ditch lights or a function in beacon. So let's start with these Union Pacific locomotives. Now, these are great for your modern day guys. They're yellow sill, and of course, they've got ditch lights on both the front and rear. Once again, these are DCC ready, so the decoder of choice is up to you, and you can access those lighting features. Chicago Northwestern. These are being offered in two different road numbers as well. You'll notice there's a beacon. Well, that beacon can function as long as you've got a decoder to support it. Modern CSX, we've had some more requests for YN3. We wanted to offer the GP38-2 in the YN3 paint scheme. This will have ditch lights on both the front and the rear per the prototype. Burlington Northern, 1980s era. No ditch lights, but you do have the beacon, and you've got two road numbers to choose from. We wanted to offer the Canadian National and the zebra stripe paint scheme. Really cool paint scheme. This, of course, also has front and rear functioning ditch lights. A lot of requests for these. A lot of requests on the Athearn product suggestion email for the Sioux line. And so we are offering the Sioux line. This one's really kind of cool because not only do you have front ditch lights, but you also have the rotating beacon found there on the top of the cab. No rear ditch lights, just front ditch lights on this model. And these locomotives are always requested, mainly because they can be used just about anywhere, on any layout, any module. This is the GATX Rail Locomotive Group leasing units. We're offering two different road numbers. These are more modern locomotives. You can see that you've got front and rear ditch lights with these models. These are great no matter what you model. You can always use one of these lease locomotives. Arizona and California, very popular paint scheme, very popular railroad. We wanted to bring these back out once again. These will have functioning ditch lights on the front only. So there you have it. There are the GP38-2s that we're offering. We will be talking more in depth on these locomotives in an upcoming Train Tuesday. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about some freight cars that we're offering this month. And we're going to start with the clay slurry tank cars. You can see here that we're going to be offering a pretty good size variety from 1970s to modern day. And again, we'll talk about these in detail. Now you can also go to the Athearn website at athearn.com and select the announcements tab and select the new announcements tab. Once you've done that, you can select a PDF and download that PDF, and you'll get information as to what year these cars are painted for and give you an idea of some of the features. You can also catch us on an upcoming Train Tuesday where we talk about those features. Here's three other road names that we are offering in this run. And again, we'll talk about the specific features on these. You can see these guys are more of the modern versus the previous three that I showed you. And you can pre-order these up until Friday, May 26th. We're now going to talk a little bit about some passenger cars. Now, last month, we offered the F59 PHIs in both HO and N scale. And if you pre-ordered one of those, you're in luck because we kind of foreshadowed it, but we said we were going to offer the associated passenger cars, and here they are. This is going to be available on both HO and N scale and in the same roads that we offered with the F-59s, with the exception of the Amtrak locomotives. So here you've got the Metrolink. And here we've got the other ones that we've announced F-59s for the previous month. And again, these are going to be available in both HO as well as N scale, as can be seen here. So it doesn't matter if you order the HO or the N scale. If you've got a locomotive that's been pre-ordered, you're all set, because about a month or a few weeks after those F-59s come into stock, you will have the associated passenger cars to go with them. Next, we're going to switch back to freight cars, and we're going to talk about the 40-foot modernized boxcars. Now, these boxcars got to see an extended life. They were modified by removing the roof walks, and in some cases, they even lowered the brake wheel and the ladders and grabs. Now, that all depends on the prototype. We'll talk a little bit more about that in an upcoming Train Tuesday. But here are the roads that we're offering in this run, and we've got a lot to cover this time. As you can see, we've got Union Pacific, Burlington Northern, and CP Rail. These are great for anybody that's modeling specifically the 1970s. You can squeeze some of these into the early 1980s, but these were really popular in the 1970s. These three cars here are railroads that are extremely popular based on our Athearn product suggestion email. We get a lot of requests for Southern, so we wanted to bring out the Southern boxcar once again. Maine Central has been extremely popular lately, so we also wanted to offer Maine Central. And yes, even RF&P has been requested. So these three boxcars really do represent what you, the modeler, have been asking for through our Athearn product suggestion email. We still have more, and a lot of these, again, were based on request. The NDM, the Santa Fe with the shock control logo, as well as the New York Central and its Jay Green. All of these have been requested through our Athearn product suggestion email. We want to thank you for sending us those emails. It makes our job easier, and of course, it makes you happy because you've got new models to add to your fleet. We've also got a Southern Pacific version, Canadian National, and another one that we've been seeing a lot of requests lately, Frisco. And then finally, we've got the MKT and the Seaboard. More requests for these lines. So thank you for sending those product suggestion emails in. Remember, we don't always have time to respond to every single email, but we do appreciate you writing us and letting us know what models you'd like to see featured in an upcoming announcement. We're going to finish with the May items with a vehicle, and that is the Ford F-850 stake truck. We tried to do a range of trucks this time, and we realized these are great for any layout, any module. They can be put in a farm scene, they can be put in an industrial scene, or even a maintenance away scene, and that's why we've got some of these railroads listed. The first one that you see there is actually a prime for grime. It's a faded out paint, so great for you guys that are modeling the 70s and 80s, well past this truck's prime. We've also got some railroads listed here. Western Maryland is one that has been requested. And there's that Southern again. Southern gets a lot of love lately on our Athearn product suggestions. So thank you for sending those requests in. We've also got a brand new truck there on the bottom. That is a factory fresh teal. So if you're modeling the late 1960s, this is a great addition to your fleet of HO scale vehicles. So there you have it. There is everything for this month of May. You've got until Friday, May 26th to place your pre-orders on everything that we've talked about. Again, I hope I see you in an upcoming Train Tuesday. The Train Tuesday for the Jeep 9s is already in the YouTube, so go ahead and take a look for that. And if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell That way you're notified of future videos that come down, just like this one. We do Train Tuesday every week on Tuesdays, and we also do an Athearn Extra usually about once a month. So we try to keep you guys informed, and we appreciate your business. So with that, I want to thank you all for joining me today. And until next time, do some good modeling, be kind of others, and high greens, everyone. Take care.